Sure. So my name's Tom O'Donnell, and I'm a professor at Cabrini University, where I teach courses on food insecurity and hunger.
Name?
Christina, Kristina, Pilot, Pilat. I'm a junior at Cabrini, majoring in social work, and I'm 22 years old. Food insecurity is struggling to have enough food to sustain yourself and proper nutrition to be able to function.
Well, one of the causes is not having sufficient funds to be able to take care of yourself from the standpoint of nutrition and eating.
About 795 million people in this world are food insecure and do not have enough food to lead a healthy and active life.
My issues with food insecurity, I guess, have been throughout my life. I'm a person who's aging out of the foster care system, and our country doesn't really protect or have many programs to help people who don't really have any family whatsoever to help them after they've reached the age of 18. So I've always had issues with that moving around my whole life. And then when I got to Cabrini and I started going to college, it just got a lot worse because I had nobody to help me but myself. So not only was I paying for all my tuition, all my books, all my living expenses, my car, my food, my insurance, my phone, everything. I'm paying everything. It doesn't really leave a lot for food. So I started really dealing with that worse when I came to Cabrini.
More than 56,000 college students identify as homeless on their financial aid applications. According to a report by the Wisconsin Hope Lab and the Association of Community College Trustees, over 2/3 of community college students and as many as 1 in 5 students at four-year universities struggle to cover their most basic need for food.
When the cafeteria was open, I was always working and things like that, so I really started to struggle there. And I also noticed, because I was just cutting corners everywhere, like I was buying like toothpaste from the dollar store, and I started getting like my teeth started, like my gums started receding, and like I was just cutting corners everywhere, and I kept getting sick, strep throat, stuff like that. So it really started affecting my life. That's kind of when I realized that.
People's performance and their capabilities of functioning physically and mentally depends on their level of nutrition. So people that have poor nutrition are going to suffer a diminished health, maybe even serious health problems. So one aspect of nutrition is, and relates to food insecurity, is people that are becoming less and less healthy because they aren't eating properly. On the flip side, in order for people to perform at their optimal, to be at their best, they have to have all the proper nutrition. They have to have everything their body needs to provide and perform.
So when somebody's food insecure, it affects everything about a person, from mentally, physically. When you're hungry, it's hard to focus on anything, or you might not even feel hungry, but if you're malnourished, like if there's a long period of time where you haven't been getting enough food, that you won't do well on tests, you won't do well on homework, you won't show up to class, or maybe you have to work and you can't show up to class because you have to have money to buy food. So it really is difficult.
I just read a paper just the other day about food insecurity on college campuses, and a study was done that's trying to relate food insecurity to college performance, particularly in grades where you can actually measure grade output. And it turns out and this isn't a surprise, it's been demonstrated before, but there's a direct correlation, for example, with the performance of students in class and their level of nutrition. In some cases, students, this could be little kids too, the same thing's true from kindergarten all the way up through college and even graduate school. Without proper nutrition, attention suffers, concentration suffers, the ability to perform work suffers, the energy level suffers, and so the output, which might be grades, might be paper, might be giving a presentation or report, suffer as well, just because the proper nutrition's not there.
The people who have the least, I've noticed, are the people who give the most, and people who appreciate more simple things than other people do.